Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Sports Timeout. I'm Anthony Polidano. Today we come to you from Utica High School where someone this spring walked away with the district title. Coming up on this edition of the show, we're going to highlight the girls softball playoffs, girls soccer playoffs, and the track postseason as well. We'll start out on the soccer fields where once again our area soccer teams ran into some very stiff competition in the districts. A pair of dedicated die-hard Sterling Heights fans showing up for this one, and not a lot of fans in the stands, and maybe a good thing for Sterling Heights. Coach Fiordalisi's team dodging some bullets early on as Katie Boyd knocks it away and then gets a little help from her defense as they keep the Colts off the board. But Troy scores first here in the first half. Elise Horback with the high shot that Boyd can't get to. Colts on the board first, 12 minutes into the contest. Sarah Otto here to Nicole Villanados with the deflected goal, and Troy led 2-0 at the half. Troy continues to pour it on in the second half. Horback with a good ball into the box. Collision there, and Megan Pines puts it away. She finds the back of the net. Colts up 3-0. Just 4 minutes into the second half. Less than a minute later, Pines to Otto with a beautiful header as the Colts go up 4-0, and you're starting to get the picture. Leslie Menzies here to Jocelyn Brown for yet another goal. Boyd would stop 31 shots in the game. Problem is, she had to face nearly 50. 7 of them get by. Peterson scored 2 goals for Troy as they take it 7-0 over Sterling Heights. Stallions end their season at 6-12-1 overall. Colts improved to only 5-11-2. Good team that plays in a very tough division. Moving on, Stevenson and Bob Mondu's second place Mac Red Titan squad taking on Troy Athens. Pick up the action in the first half. Lisa Giffen ahead to Megan Amon. Amon's going to beat Chelsea Parise, and the Red Hawks were on the board first, just 5 minutes into the contest. But Parise settles down after that. The sophomore goalie came up big the rest of the way. Nice save here. And Stevenson's starting to get some offense of their own. Very even match as they forced Jackie Nemansky to make some saves of her own. We were still 1-0, though, at the intermission in this one. Titans, though, get on the board early in the second half. Vanessa Atanasowski ahead to Katie Koroleski. Koroleski beats the Red Hawk goalie, and we were tied at 1. Big goal for Koroleski. She struggled with injuries throughout the middle part of this season. She played very well in this game, so we are still tied 1-1. Red Hawks try to go up and get the lead, but Chelsea Priest, a nice play here to come out of goal and get the stop, taking it away from Jordan Bazin. But Bazin going to get back at her just moments later as that ball kind of tight ropes the sideline. Bazin gets it, beats a defender, and beats Parise too, as the Red Hawks take a 2-1 lead with 17-10 left to go in the match. They were looking to add on to it. Alex Gendrish here with the shot. Parise, a little trouble on the save, but she makes it nonetheless. Big blow, though, for Stevenson, though. Under 10 minutes to play. Atanasowski goes out with leg cramps. Final half minute of play. Lauren Turkington with the corner. Chelsea Priest with a head on it. Can't get it. One last shot for Stevenson with under 10 seconds left. Turkington and Priest try it one more time. Good effort. The Titans with a very good effort, but they just could not beat the 10th ranked team in the state as the Red Hawks take it 2-1. Priest 12 saves in the losing effort for Stevenson.
I felt we dominated the second half. Things didn't go our way, and the ball rolled the right way for them. I thought they were like a one-player team, the one girl on the outside, the forward. And once we contained that, we started passing the ball. I was real comfortable with our fortunes, but it turned out to be a misfortune. And that's what it's about, high school sports, like giving it your all, leaving it out on the field. Like you don't coach hard, it just comes naturally, and they showed a lot of it tonight.
So, Coach Mondu, pleased with the effort. Let's check out the effort of the Eisenhower Eagles facing Chippewa Valley for the third time this year. Joanna Hindi coming up big in the first half, making a clutch save there. Then Alyssa Talang, the freshman scoring sensation, with a header opportunity, but she couldn't finish it. Tied at the end of 2 overtimes at 0-0. We go to a shootout. Alyssa Rogner with the first goal for Ike. Then Talang makes it 2-1. Eagles up in the shootout. Eisenhower was up first. Then Emily Matei and Shelly Rogers both convert on their goals. Tied at 4. Bria Kozecki there with the tiebreaker to go up 5-4. Chance for the Big Reds to tie it and force it into another round of shootout. And the would-be tying goal sails wide right. Joanna Hindi and company celebrate as Eisenhower moves on in the playoffs. Officially, it goes down as a 1-0 victory as Ike takes it 5-4 in the shootout. Chippewa Valley falls to 8-6-3 on the season. As we said, these two teams tied their first 2 games of the year by final scores of 3-3 and 2-2. Hindi had 5 saves in the winning effort in goal for the Eagles, who would then move on to Rochester to face the Falcons, who are ranked in the top 10 in the state. And Merdad Nakugar's team had their work cut out for them. Pick it up in the first half. Hindi in goal again, and Hindi coming up with a great save here to keep the game scoreless. Scoreless for almost the entire first half before the Falcons break through. Brittany Hopkins to Jackie Karen with 47 seconds left in the half. Falcons take a 1-0 lead into the intermission. Early in the second, Ike gets on the board. Alyssa Talang to Shelly Rogers. That evens things up with 37-28 left to go in the contest, but just too much Rochester. Hopkins again to Karen. Second time those two hook up on the afternoon. Rochester goes up 2-1 and wins it by the 2 goals from the future University of Michigan product. Rochester moves to 16-1-3 on the season. Eisenhower, double-digit wins for a second straight year. They end their 2006 season at 11-4-5. Rogers with the goal, Talang with the assist, Hindi 18 saves in the losing effort for Ike. Checking out some other scores in the area. Stevenson earlier, before they got knocked out, 4-1 winners over Berkeley. Vanessa Atanasowski with a goal and 2 assists. Katie Korleski, Chelsea Priest, and Lauren Turkington each with goals for Stevenson. Alance Cruz knocks Utica out of the playoffs. Tough season for Utica. Ditto for Ford as they fall to Rochester for the second time this year as they lose 7-1. Well, unfortunately, no long runs for our area girls soccer teams this spring. We turn our attention now to track as we focus on the Macomb Dailies All-County Meet out at Warrenmont High School. And we'll start out with the boys and the field events. The Titans got a first-place finish out of long jumper Ben Watson, who flew to a distance of 21 feet 11 inches. Ford's Sean Urban placed second with a jump of 20 feet 11 inches. Josh LaRock was the only local male to place in the shot put. He finished sixth. The high jump was dominated by Tommy Klanowski, but a freakish leap here in an early attempt. Klanowski's winning jump cleared 6 feet 5 inches. Teammate Steve Perini finished tied for second, 2 inches behind. Klanowski also excelled in the pole vault as the high flyer finished third, vaulting 13 feet 1 inches. In the running events, Ike's Brock Humphreys placed second in the 110 high hurdles. He was followed by fellow Eagle Rich Kwasnick, who finished third. In the 1600 meter, Stallion Mike Craze took home first place with a time of 4:29.7. In the 300 intermediate hurdles, Ike's Kwasnick captured first with a time of 40 seconds flat. James Foster of Ford was second. Joe Sachaki of Utica was sixth. And Stevenson's Annie Barhen won the 800 meter, finishing with a time just under 2 minutes at 1:58.5. Some other results not pictured. Stevenson takes first in the 1 mile relay. Carlton Allen of Ford finishes fifth in the 1 mile. Stevenson also with a good finish in the 400 relay as they finished second. Ike was fifth and Ford sixth in that event. Jerome Rucker for the Titans third in the 400. Matt Deletka in his first year going out for track, finishes 6th in the 400 meter. Brett DeBurgrave finishes 6th in the pole vault with a vault of 12 feet, 1 inches. And moving on to the girls' side, Stevenson's Talitha Robertson was the only local finisher in the shot put as she placed 6th. Utica's Mary Houseworth finished 2nd in the long jump with a leap of 16 feet, 1/2 inch. Teammate Cassandra Shatoski finished behind her and also won the pole vault. Utica's Brianna Peabody set a new school record for the high hurdles with a time of 14.5, but it was only good enough for 2nd. Ike's Maria Metz would finish 3rd. The most dominating girl at the county meet was Ike's Megan Williamson. She won 4 events, including a meet record 11.7 seconds in the 100. She also took 1st in the 200 and helped Ike win the 400 and 800 meter relays. Peabody did take home a 1st place finish, and it was in the 300 low hurdles with a time of 46.6. Stevenson's Kelly Lemke continued her dominance as she obliterated the field for a 2nd straight year. In the 3200 meter, she beat the 2nd place finisher and Titan teammate Adrian Dent by a full 37 seconds. As far as other girl finishers, Eisenhower gets a 1st place finish in the 800 meter relay. They also win the 400 meter relay. Carly Ballantyne of Utica finishes 2nd in the 400 meter event. Utica finishes 2nd in the 1600 meter relay. Alex Koch of Utica finishes 5th in the 3200, just behind teammate Stephanie Scott. And checking out the state finals, Megan Williamson, Kelly Lemke, and Brianna Peabody all walk away with 3rd place finishes in the states. Cassie Shatoski 6th in the pole vault. Steve Perini, the only local male, finishing 8th in the high jump. Well, we've reached the midway point here on Sports Timeout. Time for a break. When we come back, we'll focus in on the softball playoffs. Stay tuned.
We've never had the pleasure of meeting. Our kids play different sports.
You wouldn't recognize me at the dry cleaners. But if you ever need it, I'm ready to save your life.
When you help the American Red Cross, you help America.
High school sports are a privilege enjoyed in Michigan by over 250,000 young people annually. Only in America is this after-school activity so tightly entwined with, yet secondary to, a school's mission, educating boys and girls to become productive members of society, tomorrow's leaders. Schools offer these programs because they enhance the educational experience of the youngsters who participate. If that message gets lost, then so do the programs.
High school sports, it's about.
Welcome back to Sports Timeout. We turn our attention now to the softball playoffs, and we go down to the districts at Fraser, where each of the past 5 seasons, either Henry Ford II or Stevenson, had walked away with district championships. But with our local teams rebuilding and going through a youth movement this year, that meant the district title was ripe for the picking for someone new. Starting the district quarter, Stevenson taking on Sterling Heights for the first time this year. Top of the first, Nicole Arini uncorks a wild one. Marissa Borkowski, the freshman, comes in to score 1-0 Stevenson. More than enough runs for Jesse Plague as Sterling Heights caught the Plague in this one. Amy Meyer and Carrie Angus both strike out. She goes the distance and throws a shutout. Gets some help here from a nice defensive play by the first baseman, Kathleen Sawood, getting the tag on Amber Daugherty. Top of the 6th, Erica Spears, one of her 3 hits on the afternoon, drives in Marissa Borkowski. Stevenson cruises to the 9-0 victory as they pound out 14 hits and are helped out by 6 Stallion errors. Plague, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts in the shutout. Borkowski 3 for 5 with 3 driven in. Spears, 3 hits and 2 RBI. Julie Murray, 2 hits and a run driven in as well. Sterling Heights extends that losing record for a 10th straight year. Ford taking on Dakota Carlene Cardillo's team, facing Renee Zaccani, who strikes out Erica Lozon there in the first, stranding a couple runners on. Jill Kaltz, the freshman pitcher for Ford, having a nice season. Lindsay Norat here, though, smacks one off of her thigh. The throw then down to first from the third baseman gets away. It allows Jennifer Emmerich to come in to score 2-0 Cougars. Bottom of the fourth, Ford comes back. They tied up. Nicole Parks here with the RBI single, which plates Chelsea Riker. We were tied at 2. Tying runner on in the seventh with 2 out. Ford down 3-2, but Ashley Pearson grounds out barely at first. Close play at the bag, and Dakota hangs on to win 3-2. Zakani goes the distance, giving up 1 earned. Kaltz gives up 3 unearned runs in the tough luck loss. Walked 2 and struck out 3. Chelsea Riker 2 for 3 with a run and a stolen base as Ford ends their season at 12-20 overall. Moving on, Stevenson taking on Frazier. Bottom of the second, bases loaded as Plague was in trouble. Megan Besko grounds the third. The throw home was in time, but Marissa Borkowski drops the ball. Everyone's safe. We're tied at 1. But Plague bears down and buckles down, getting out of the inning, striking out Liz Blom and Liz Kraus to get out of the bases loaded jam. Tied at 1-2. Top of the third, Borkowski singing redemption song here with the triple to right field. She would wind up on third. No slap hitting for the leadoff hitter that time. Stevenson in business. Erica Spears follows her up with an RBI infield single, allowing Borkowski to score. Titans take a 2-1 lead. They add to it in the fourth. Ashley Coffin rips this shot all the way to the wall. It's an RBI double. Stevenson up 3-1. Bottom of the fifth. 2 runners on for the Ramblers as Frazier was threatening once again. Plague getting a little help from her defense here as the shot from Jackie Opalewski snared. Nice shoestring catch out there by Maria Girardi. Stevenson holds on for the 5-1 win. Say pound out 8 hits and are helped out by 5 Frazier errors. Plague goes the distance. No earned runs, no walks. Struck out 2. Coffin, the big RBI double. Murray had 2 hits and 2 runs scored for Stevenson. Frazier ends their season at 18-9.
She's done a real nice job staying strong on the mound, keeping her composure. As a freshman, that's phenomenal, especially when she got out of that big jam that we had. She kind of helped get into it with the rest of the girls, but all of them did a nice job of getting out of it.
I don't know, actually today I just came out, I just wanted to win. I didn't really care about how many strikeouts, I just wanted to win.
That's amazing. I've told coaches throughout the season, I can't believe it's the same team as I had at the beginning of the year, and they've just done a great job working hard the whole season long to try and improve on the little things, and they've done that, and it's gotten us some wins.
So the Titans taking on the Big Reds in the district final. 2 teams played a couple close games earlier this year, and the Big Reds having a hard time with the fundamentals early. Their first 3 bunts were all pop-outs. Stevenson led 1-0 through 4. In the 5th, though, Big Reds get on the board. Kim Sills, the RBI single to help her own cause. Emily Blackwell comes in to score. Then Claire Cannon later in the inning with the RBI single scoring Jackie Zelmansky. 2-1. Big Reds up. Kim Sills dominating in the circle. She gets Girardi here to bounce out to end the game. And the Big Reds come up with a big district title. First time in a while for Chippewa Valley as they edge Stevenson 2-1. Sills throws a complete game, 1 hitter with 4 walks and 8 strikeouts. Michelle Paterick, the tough luck loser, gives up 2 earned, walking 5 and striking out 1. Stevenson ends their season, not bad, 19-18. Another team used to postseason success in girls softball were the Utica Chieftains. However, since Anthony Adamo took over the program back in 2004, there have been no new additions to the Chieftain Trophy case. All that would change this year with an impressive performance in the districts. Mother Nature a big factor on the day. 4 rain delays between the Chieftains' 2 games. Pick it up top of the first. After the first rain delay, Stacey Kenny struck out by Katie Russell, who struck out 4 Chieftains in the first inning. Kenny answered right back, though, and struck out the side in the bottom of the first. Top of the second, Chieftains get on the board. Megan Mazurik, remember her as a Player of the Year candidate, or Play of the Year candidate a few years back. Bunt single scores Lisa Shubalka. Chieftains up 1-0. Top of the third now, Shubalka at the plate. Error by the second baseman. Gets past the outfielder, too. Becky Chury comes in to score one of the 7 Red Hawk errors on the afternoon. In the fourth, Marissa Carr with the RBI single. That scores Danielle Trigger. Utica up now 5-0. Kenny getting some help from the D here in the fourth with 2 on. Nice running catch there by Megan Sifka in the rain to hold on and keep Athens off the board. Top of the fifth now, Kim Donnelly at the plate. Utica Slugger with an RBI single up the middle. That scores Missouri. Lauren Heisted coming around to score, and she gets into a collision trying to avoid the catcher. She would fall on her hip and be done for the day. The only bad news for the Chieftains on the afternoon. Sifka, though, helping pick up the offense with the RBI single, and then Heisted's replacement, Danielle Trigger, climbs the ladder to get the final out of the game as Utica rolls past a pretty good Troy Athens team, 8-0. Kenny, a 2-hit shutout with 2 walks and 6 Ks. Heisted, 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI before she left with that hip injury. Kim Donnelly, 2 for 4 with a double. Becky Chury, 2 hits as well. So Chieftains were in the final, taking on the Colts of Troy. Kenny still looking good in the first, striking out Colleen McEntee and Michelle Myeri. Another shutout for Kenny in the circle. Getting some help from the defense here. Becky Chury guns out. Corey Legger trying to leg one out. She's nailed, stealing second. Heisted can't play in the game, but she was still involved as she coached first for the second game. Donnelly here being sent by Heisted all the way to third as it's an RBI triple for Kim Donnelly. In the bottom of the fourth, Lexi Despopoulos comes in to score. 4-0 Chieftains. Utica busts it open and puts a nail in the coffin in the sixth. Bases loaded for Shubalka. Shubalka with the 2-run single up the middle. That makes it 6-0 Chieftains in the sixth that chases. Starting Colt pitcher Deanna Tassani. New pitchers Chelsea Barberi. Same result. Megan Sifka, who had a great afternoon. 2-run single down the line. Utica up 9-0 at that point. 1 run away from the Mercy, and they would get it. Wild pitch by Barberi allows Sifka to come in to score, and that's how Utica wins the district title. A domination of the districts as they take it over the Colts in the final, 10-0. It's the first district title for Anthony Adamo while coaching the Chieftains. Stacy Kenny, an outstanding district. She goes 21 innings pitched and does not give up a run. She was also 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored in the final. Donnelly 2 for 3 and Sifka 3 for 4 in Utica's clinching win.
Probably the most fired up I've seen them all season. You know, they really made up their minds this week that they wanted to come on with the district, and they played unbelievable today.
Feels awesome. It feels great. I love Utica. I love Utica softball.
Are you surprised at the ease at which you won the district going up against some quality teams here?
You know what, really, I've always had faith in my team, but it's just whenever we put a couple hits together, and we really worked together this time.
If I couldn't get my locations, I just wanted them to hit it because I knew I had awesome defense behind me, so at least we can make a play out of it and get some outs.
We got a lot of hits out of the bottom of the lineup. Megan Sifka, but I think she reached base every single time she was at bat this whole tournament, and that's what wins you games. Our defense didn't have any errors, and Stacy Kenny should not give up a run this district, and very few hits. Just pitch great, unbelievable.
This is your first, personally. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. It's I've been fortunate to be around some good kids and be on some good teams, and always feels good to get one yourself.
Utica would look for that momentum to carry over into the regionals, where they would go up against a team which beat them twice this year in Romeo. Wind blowing out to straightaway center out at Chippewa Valley High School, where the regionals were held this year. Romeo had beaten Utica in the first 2 meetings this year by a combined score of 10-3. This one decidedly closer. Lauren Heisted back from the injury. She would play in this one, pick up the action in the first. Lauren Gabrielson with the strikeout of Stacy Kenny. She then gets Becky Chury swinging. This was a pitcher's duel early on. Kenny answering back for Utica, striking out Danielle Peters in the second. Bottom of the second now, Utica threatening, 2 runners on. Megan Sifka at the plate, the hero of the districts though, trying to bunt for a base hit. Gabrielson with a nice play, fields it cleanly and guns out the runner going to first, so Utica strands 2. Bottom of the third, Chieftains with a runner on third, and Utica's big hitter Kim Donnelly goes down swinging, scoreless through 3. Top of the 4th now. Runner on first for Romeo. And Kenny in the circle getting some help from Becky Chury, who guns out the runner, trying to steal second. Romeo still scoreless through 4. Bottom of the 4, Gabrielson continuing her part of the pitcher's duel, striking out Chury, and Megan Mazurik swinging, scoreless through 4. Top of the 5th now, Utica huddling up because they were in trouble. Runner on third for Rachel Spaccaratelli. Smaccaratelli. She crushes it to center field. RBI double allows Chelsea Krause to come in to score, and Romeo was up 1-0. Big play now, top of the 7th, still 1-0 Romeo. Leadoff hitter for them. Shot to center field. Great effort by Mazurik. Looked like she came up with the catch, but they say no catch. Another look at it, and while it looked like a catch at normal speed, it appears that on the replay, the ball just hits the ground as she loses the handle on it just enough. Appears to be a good call, although a very close call by the umpires. That would be big because Christy Breinart follows with his shot to center field. It's an RBI double, which scores Peters, and Romeo was up 2-0. Another big play here in this one. Bunt by Romeo. Utica goes to first to get one. They go home to get the runner. Throw was in time. The tag was there, but the official says obstruction by the catcher, although he did wait a long time to make the call. It seemed as though he was waiting to see if the ball had been dropped or not. An obstruction call, it wouldn't matter if the ball was dropped or not. So Utica down 3-0 going into the 7th. They hang tough, though, as they try to come back. Lisa Shubalka with the base hit. It puts runners on the corners for the Chieftains. Then Utica pulling off the double steal, as Becky Chury's going to come in to score. It's the first run of the ball game for the Chieftains. They were within 2 at 3-1. Then Brittany Mazurik is up next, and Mazurik takes this Gabrielson pitch, and puts it in the center field. That allows Shubalka to come in to score. Chieftains within 1 run with the tying run on second, down 3-2. Megan Sifka is up next, and Sifka gets a hold of one. She hits it into right center field. Right fielder's there, makes the catch. Runner tags, and the winning run, or the tying run, was now just 1 base away. 3-2 count now for Megan Mazurik, and Mazurik watches one too many as she struck out looking for the final out of the game as Gabrielson pitches out of the jam, and Romeo holds on. Those calls in the 6th and 7th turned out to be very big as the Bulldogs take it 3-2. They would go on to win the regional by beating Chippewa. Kenny, the tough luck loser. Mazurik 2 out of 3 with an RBI in the losing effort for the Chieftains.
I thought all along we had a good team, from day one. We've had, senior pitching and good senior leadership, and it was just a matter of time before we started believing in ourselves, and that's what we did the last couple of weeks, and, really came to play the last 7-8 games of the season. I got 4 seniors that really contributed this year. Obviously Stacy being the pitcher, she's a leader out there, but, Donnelly had a great career, a lot of extra base hits, big power hitter, and then lost 2 outfielders. Megan Mazurik came up with some big plays for us this year and got the bunt down when we needed to. And in the district, Megan Sifka had the hot bat going, and she had 7 hits on the weekend. So, you know what? All 4 are going to be missed next year.
Well, a tough way for the Chieftains to bow out of the playoffs, but congratulations to them on being our only local team this spring to capture a district title. But that'll do it for this edition of Sports Timeout. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time.